gather that? How do you gather that hermeneutic from the text, Pastor? How do you gather that? Well, here's how I gather that exegesis of the text. Notice how Abraham's linguistic expression contains pronouns that suggest plurality. He says, watch this. He says, we will worship, and then we will return. Plural pronoun. Y'all ain't with me here. I don't care. I've never been the brightest bulb in the building, but I've never been the dimmest bulb either. And I don't care how you slice it or cut it. And when you look at the structure of the English language, when you see the word we, it's a pronoun that suggests plurality. Y'all ain't talking to me here. He said, we will go to worship, and we will be back. Abraham was really expressing faith in his God. He was saying, even when I slay Isaac, the God I serve is able to raise him back up. But not only is he able to raise him up, I expect him to raise him up. We are going to worship, and we will be back. I'm not going up here alone, Brother Merrill. And guess what? I'm not returning alone. Y'all ain't helping me here. I've got, it's me and Isaac going up to worship. And when the worship is over, Isaac and I are coming back. Wait a minute here, Abraham saying, I understand the expectations God got on me, but Bethelites, you don't understand the expectations that I placed on God. And there's something about worship that breeds, I call it something about a worship that's couched in expectancy and expectation that becomes the breeding ground for the miraculous and the supernatural. Y'all ain't hearing me here. What good is it to worship a God who's all powerful and then not expect him to do some powerful thing? So I come to let somebody know that when our expectation level of God is equal to his capability, God will not disappoint. So when you get the revelation that he's Jehovah Jireh, the God who will provide, first decision you ought to make is worship when things look cloudy. And in order for you to do that, there must be preparation, separation, and then expectation. But not only when I get the revelation that God is Jehovah Jireh, must I worship when things look cloudy? Here it is, number 2. I must walk on in the midst of contradictions. I've got to worship when things look cloudy. But then I got to walk on in the midst of contradictions. I hear you. I hear you, grandmother. I hear you saying, Pastor, you got to help me, right? You got to help me with that point there. I don't understand what you're talking about, walking on in the midst of contradictions. That's okay, grandmama. I'm going to heist the window and let you peep in and see what I'm talking about. When you look at this story, you've got to consider that Abraham has waited 24 years, y'all, since God promised him that he would make his name great. Somebody shout 24 years. Now, I don't know how you feel about it, but it just seems contradictory to me that God would ask Abraham, watch this, to let go of a blessing that he has been waiting on all of his life.